Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different on this Tackle Shop Tuesday. We're going to be teaching y'all how to find some worms using your worm dog. I guarantee I'd put him up against anybody, but Buster's the best worm hunting dog in Texas, bar none. I promise you this, you won't find a better worm dog in the state of Texas. If you're not familiar with Texas, it'll take you more than a day to get from one side to the other. We're out here in deep East Texas. We're fixing to teach you how Buster, my worm dog, shows me where to dig for worms. We're going to teach you a couple of techniques today so that you too can have a big pile of worms. But this is Buster. He's my little running buddy, and he's my worm dog. You know, I've heard a lot of guys, they'll train their labs to hunt sheds, hunt ducks, stuff like that. And this is Buster. Again, this is not a video that I'd even planned on doing, but my wife said, you know what, we need to share that with everybody and let them know what a great worm dog he is. We always start out at the beginning of any worm hunt. You got to let Buster, he's got to go chase his ball, wear off some of that nervous energy. And then we're going to walk around the yard. He'll stop. He knows not to dig up the worms because his claws could injure the worms. But he'll stop and he'll look up at me and he'll let me know, hey, there's worms right here. And that's where we're going to start. I'm going to show you the tools we'll be using today. Have you guys priced worms lately? My goodness. I went to the store last year. They were like $8.50 for a dozen. A dozen worms, $8.50. That's why you need a worm dog. To go worm hunting, we'll play ball for a little bit. Then I need you to find me some worms, okay? Start out with a stool, and then alongside with the stool, you want to get one of your wife's Tupperware containers. Make sure it's the new ones, not the old ones. Make sure it's the new one, that way it doesn't have any kind of bacteria or anything in it that might injure the worms. And then find your wife's garden rake that she uses in the flower beds. This one's made out of metal, and as you can see, Buster's, he's already over there looking. You see him sit down? Anytime he lays down like that, that's a good sign. That right there is where we're starting at. You see him laying there, he's not digging. And so let me get my stuff. We're gonna move over here and we're gonna start digging for worms right there. Let's move this stuff. One thing that you wanna do if you live in copperhead infested areas of the world, they love this brush and such. But see how calmly he's just laying there? Now he knows we're getting set up. And what we're going to do, we'll get the garden, we'll go ahead and get this other GoPro going because I don't want you guys to miss a thing. Let's see here. Yeah, it's recording. Well, it was. Yep, I guess it still is. All right. It's hard to say on these GoPros, but that first little bit of sign, if he either sits down or lays down, right there's where you want to start. And for starters, we're just going to rake these small leaves, and see, he'll bring the ball and let you know. He's like, hey, you're digging in the right spot. Throw my ball. He said, well, you've got this, and look right there, guys. See it? Can you see that? Get this other camera over here. There's one right there. He's trying to sneak away. Man, he's a good dog. That's a good worm dog right there. Alright, so we've already got our first worm in the bucket. I'm going to dig around here. See, Buster, he'll throw the ball. See, right there's the ball. Threw the ball. And he's letting us know there's a worm right in here. That's a grub worm, but it counts. There it is, right there. See it, guys? Got us another one. That didn't take long. Every time he drops that ball, he's going to point you in the right direction, let you know, hey, Dad, the worms are right here. He's really good at finding them. And I tell you, if you guys haven't been doing a lot of this worm hunting like this with one of these tools, especially if you got it out of your your wife's flower bed or whatever. But this tool almost works like a worm grunt. As you want to start by raking these leaves back nice and easy. That way you're not creating a lot of heavy vibration, but you do want to be creating a little bit of vibrations, and it'll make these worms will just start jumping out of the ground. Guys, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, a lot of times at 3 o'clock in the morning, some of the best thoughts come to mind. I felt like I needed to interrupt the video right. I know what you're already thinking. Guys, if you're interested, Buster and I are going to team up together. We can come out and hunt worms on your property for $500 an hour. And if that sounds like something you're interested in, please comment down below. We can travel up to 10 miles away, maybe 15 for $500 an hour, just by scraping lightly. I scrape lightly, come back. I don't know if you guys can tell how far apart my feet are spread. Well, he's telling us there's one over here. You see him drop the ball over there? He's saying there's worms over here, so let's dig over here where he was at. And what I like to do, get a little pile going right between your feet. Keep an eye on that pile, because sometimes you might rake up a few right there. He said to dig right here. That's where he keeps throwing. Yep. Well, correct. He's thrown the ball over here. All right. Put the ball in my hand. Last time he was making sure I was paying attention, I guess. But he's saying right here. Hold that line out. There it is. Boom. Did you see it? All right there. So we got 3. That's a good dog. Okay, he's kind of rolling it a little bit. I think we need to work this area over here a little bit, but he dropped it right here initially. Dropped the ball. See how he's pointing? And he's like, all right, you're on top of him. Throw my ball, Dad. Right there, right where you're standing. Right there where you're standing, is that where? Okay. Give me your ball. Good boy. He was standing right here. A bunch of this old dead wood right in here. And like I say, what I like to do a lot of times when I'm starting, you hear that? Just kind of scratch those. And look, here we go, guys. There's one right there. Boom. That was a good one. Go ahead and harvest him. If you guys are watching him real close, see how he's standing over the top of them worms? And then he'll look up at me. He's letting me know there's worms right there. There's a big one. Big one. Another big one. Another good one. 2. There's another one. 3. 4. 5. Where that? 6. 6. He's trying to pitch it to me. Again, guys, thanks for tuning in to Heartland Makes and Outdoors. We appreciate you following along with us today. I hope that you've truly enjoyed this video. Here in a second, I'm going to take you back. I'm going to show you how many worms we caught. We've been out here about 45 minutes. It's still nice and cool. It's springtime. The crappie are actually spawning right now. I think we're at the tail end of the white bass. And again, guys, I hope you've learned something valuable in this video. Again, you don't need a lot of fancy stuff to go out and collect your own worms. It just makes fishing that much funner. Catching something with bait that you've either caught or made yourself makes fishing so much more fun. Again, some of the key takeaway points on this as we wrap this video up. You want to just scrape the surface lightly if you can feel it's kind of crusty. Like I said, we just got done with 3 days of rain out here, so that upper layer is kind of crusty. If you'll just drag that rake across the top of the soil, those worms will start coming out. Be looking a good ways to your right and left. If you noticed, I always tried to pile everything up towards in between my feet, because it's hard for me to just turn around and look backwards. I've got enough just looking out in front of me, and I'm more or less looking for snakes than I am anything. I don't want to be scraping up a copperhead. But anyways, guys, those are just kind of some of the key takeaways. Scrape lightly. Enjoy your time while you're out in the woods. Number one, listen to the birds. Guys, just get out, number one, and make it happen. If you found any information in this video useful and it's something that you think you would like to see more of, be sure to give us a big thumbs up. It lets us know. If you don't like this video at all, please hit the thumbs down button twice. That way we get full credit for it. And again, for everybody else who hasn't joined our family already, I'd love to invite you to join our family here on YouTube. We try to post at least one video a week. That way we're not bombarding your email or any of that. You can hit the subscribe button down below, click the little bell, you'll be notified. That way you don't miss next week's video. Next week we're going to be teaching you how to put together a worm bin, so that way when you catch a bunch of worms on the day that you can be out there catching worms, you've already got a handful in stock when you get ready to go fishing. And you guessed it, we are going to be taking you fishing with these worms as well. Again, if that's something that sounds good to you, join our family, hit the subscribe button. Guys, I can't do this on my own, but I'd love to see this channel become the largest East Texas channel on YouTube. I can't do it alone, but with your help, we can make it happen. We can make this the biggest, funnest East Texas style outdoor channel. And we do everything from cooking to grilling to camping to you know it. If you guys don't know, subscribe below so you don't miss the next one. May you have a blessed week, and let's get outside and make something happen. All right, I zoomed in on that a little bit for you guys so you can see it a little bit better, but this is the worms that we just caught. Buster and I are just now coming back. I don't know how many worms are in there. How many would you guess? That is a pile of worms, so comment down below how many worms do you think are in this batch right here. And there's some big ones in here. We got about every size you can think of. Worms are kind of like baby chickens. Hey, I gotta watch him. He'll set that ball down in there because he smells the worms. But worms are a lot like baby chickens. You don't want to handle them any more than you have to. That's why we're real gentle about it. Putting them up and then getting them into a nice safe place for them to live until we take them fishing. He'll find some worms and he stops and he'll look up at me. Just kind of watch him, let him work the area a little bit. Let him work the area a little bit, and then we'll continue to throw the ball after he's caught the ball about 4 times generally.